Hey there. Last month, the East Coast of the United States experienced two extreme weather events. They were both hurricanes, Helen and Milton, and they happened one right after the other, back to back, we say. They affected both friends and family. So I want to tell you about that today and what I have learned about preparing for extreme weather events. We have a son and a cousin who live down in Florida, and we've been there a lot. Plus we have friends down there. And when the first one hit, our son Graham and our cousin Terry did not evacuate. They did not leave. And there was a lot of water damage on Graham's property and on cousin Terry's property. But then, not even 2 weeks later, another hurricane came, Milton. And this time, our son Graham and his family evacuated. They left Florida before this second hurricane occurred. The reason they left was because the second one was headed straight toward Tampa, where they live, and that is unusual. They were blessed. They were fortunate. There was not a whole lot of damage. They lost some trees, and their dock that goes out over a river is going to have to be repaired or replaced. Cousin Terry lost a lot of trees, but the house was fine. But what was strange was that the first Hurricane Helen didn't just hit Florida. It traveled up the East Coast, passing through Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. We have friends in South Carolina, two sets of friends. They were without power, without electricity for 12 days. Think about that. But what was worse was in North Carolina, specifically the tourist city of Asheville. Asheville is very dear, is very close to our heart because we used to live there. We moved away from Asheville 6 years ago to come here to Alabama. But we have lots of friends. And Mike's brother, Steve, and his wife, Eve, live in Asheville. And Mike's mom lived in Asheville until she died in February, which now, thinking about that, was a good thing. She did not have to go through the suffering. So much of Asheville was completely destroyed. There's several rivers. The rivers flooded, overflowed, destroying parts of the interstate, the major highways. The schools just started up last week. That's like 5 weeks after the hurricane came to Asheville. 5 weeks, and kids were without school because the water wasn't drinkable. So what happened to Mike's brother and his wife? Fortunately, their rental house was not destroyed, but without drinkable water, they have not returned. They've been renting a house out of state. So this is really shocking. Thinking about these two hurricanes and having it affect family and friends, thinking about that has made me consider revising our emergency list, our emergency procedures, in the event of an extreme weather event, what would we do? And what is extreme weather? Obviously hurricanes, but here in Alabama, we get tornadoes or these small cyclones. Some parts of our country get earthquakes, like California, and some have to deal with forest fires. That is a very scary event. We already had a plan for tornadoes. For example, we don't have a basement, which would be ideal for safety, but we have one room, a closet, that has no windows, and that's the safest place to be. So in our closet, we have put water, we have a flashlight, a radio transmitter so we can hear what's going on in case there's no internet. We have the cat carriers because we have 2 cats. And our plan is to grab the cats and bring them into the closet. And if we have to leave the house, we would have the cat carriers. What we've done in the past, when there's been that siren, you can hear a warning that a tornado is coming, do something now. We grab our phones and a phone charger, our computers, our wallets, the car keys, and Mike has one medicine. We grab that. And we grab glasses, and we go into the closet. Now, in the garage, we have collected some emergency food, dried food, because if we're without power, but the house is okay, then how are we going to eat? We have a lot of water bottles, probably 20 big water containers, and we have some camping equipment, like a propane stove, so we could heat something up. In our emergency food supply, I have collected rice, dry beans, almond butter, some cans of tuna fish, a can opener. We have olive oil, we have coffee, we have cat food, we have, what else do we have? We have what we call toilet articles or personal care articles like soap and shampoo and body lotion, a toothbrush, toothpaste, things like that. So we have gathered those supplies, and we have a procedure that I am now updating to make sure that we grab the essential documents. Oh, documents. We have this box in our closet where we have passports, the deed or official paper to our house. We own a house. The car titles saying that we own one car and we are paying a bank loan on the other. Passports, birth certificates, those papers you would not want to lose. That is in our interior, our inside closet. So I know some people go all out to prepare, and they are called preppers here in America. We are not preppers, but we do have a plan. And Mike has a weapon, a gun, and he will bring that with him into the closet as well. You just don't know if people are going to be looting or trying to break into your house after a disaster. I think it pays to think through, plan ahead, but we shouldn't be afraid. We can pray and trust God, but being prepared helps. So what about you? Where do you live, and what is the natural disaster that you have experienced or are likely to experience? If you live in the Caribbean, like Cuba or Puerto Rico or the islands, you're used to hurricanes, sadly. So let me know what you have done to prepare, or have you even thought about it? Well, that's it for this episode. I'm Maria from English Without Fear. See you next time.